Welcome back to Richland Center. Ken Manning, Western Wisconsin Video Productions. Well, we pulled a switcheroo. With me now is Kirk Lear, another one of my good friends from that wrestling family, and of course we've known each other for a long, long time as well. And just great to have you be able to come back on board here, Kirk. Thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. I had to drive really far, just up over the hill, so it's good to be here at my alma mater. It's good to see a lot of people here, and it's a great day for wrestling.
You know, I tell you what, this tournament has, just such a tradition and everything, and we're already rocking and rolling here in the semifinals. We're going to be catching up with what we have out here on the mat. As you can see, all four mats. And Kirk, you have mats 1 and 2. That's the upper one here on our screen. And I'll have 3 and 4. And if we ever get behind, we'll help each other out like we always do.
Yep.
But I tell you what, this tournament has some pretty good teams in it. We already have some things finishing up over here on mat number 1.
Yeah, that was GET. Where was that one at? Is that in the Wrestlebacks?
That should be Consolation, I believe. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Yeah, that
was Fry winning down there against Monroe.
Okay.
Yep.
So Fry picks up the win.
With a pin.
All right. And then it goes to, I'll take a look on Matt.
The semis in the middle then?
Must be. Over on,
we got Reedsburg here and
Reedsburg on my mat.
And Toma going here. No, that's Riverdale here.
That was Reedsburg and Toma on mat 4. That was a semifinal. And
that was on mat 4, okay.
Yeah, that was, I think, Reedsburg picking up that win. So on mat 3, we've got Geyer from Westby. There he is. He is taking on Johnson of River Valley.
Okay, yep.
At 106, and then you have...
That must be Haiti against, Marabelli from Riverdale at 106.
Yep, you're right.
There we go. Now we're catching up. The new Richland Center uniforms, that took me a while to gauge that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those look pretty nice.
Yeah, very nice uniform.
Over on mat 3 here, we've got a pinning combination by Geyer. He has his opponent in Johnson of River Valley in a little trouble. Has the reverse half in, trying to put those shoulders to the mat. Johnson doing a good job of keeping that left shoulder up off the carpet, so to speak.
We have a Westby wrestler, Brock Hoskins, at 113, and he is taking on Austin Cushman from Belmont Platteville on mat 1.
Okay.
You're watching that.
We also have a 113-pound weight class over on mat 4. And let's see if we can pick up on that one.
Looks like Westby, isn't it? Ithaca Weston?
That is Ithaca Weston.
So that would be Lewis, wouldn't it? Yeah, it is.
It is, you're right.
That's Lewis against Wilnett from Get Electric Trempolo.
Okay.
So 2 113s and 2 106s still going on here. And it looks like they're mingling up, and we do have a Westby pin down there on mat number 1. And that would be Hoskins moving on to the finals for Westby.
All right.
With a pin.
Over here, Geyer out in front 12-0 in the lower left corner of the screen. He has done just about everything that he would want to do except get a pin. Out in front 12-0. Now will bring his opponent down to the mat and lead 14-0 on the way to a tech fall if he can keep that kind of pressure going.
Down there on mat number 1, I believe we've moved up to 120, and that would be in the wrestleback round. We have Finch from Toma taking on Geyer from Westby again. There's a pin on your mat there on mat 3, Ken.
Yep, that's going to be the smaller Geyer boy picking up the win. He'll be wrestling for 5th place. He'll go against Fry of GET. And Johnson will drop down and wrestle for 7th place. He'll be taking on Minder of Monroe.
Richland Center wrestler here with a comeback here on mat number 2. Gets reversal and back points to extend his lead. Down there on mat number 1, Toma wrestler coming real close to getting a fall at 120. Time runs out though. Move on to the next period. 5-0 lead the Toma wrestler. That would be Finch against Geyer, the heavier Geyer, as you determined earlier here.
I can't keep those boys straight, to be honest with you. I don't know them that well. I remember them growing up, then they were much smaller. Jaden and I think I want to say Lucas, but I don't even know.
This one's Clayton, it looks like.
Clayton, okay,
yep.
Clayton.
He's
okay.
a freshman, it looks like. And if we drop back to the other one, got to find him again here. He's a freshman too.
Yeah, they're twins. Yeah.
Oh, they're twins.
Yeah, they're
okay.
twins. Yeah.
Okay, you at least remembered that much. Huh?
Yeah, I knew that much.
All right, good. Getting near a fall there on mat number 3.
Yeah, this is a pretty good one here at 113 pounds. This is Reedsburg.
Parrish from Reedsburg against, what's that, Winky from Baraboo?
Alexis Winicki, yeah.
Oh, okay, yep.
And Parrish is going to come up with the win.
We lost our camera, Ken.
Uh-oh. What happened there?
Somebody hit it, I think.
Oh, boy.
That or the leg fell in.
Well, that would have been weird. Yeah, you're right, we lost the picture and everything. Well, I can slip around and get to it here in just a quick second.
I got it back on the thing, but you're saying it's not coming through the TV?
Yeah, we don't have the... Let's see.
You want to slide this way?
I think what... All right, try this. Just take that cord right there.
This one
that
or this one?
No, that one. And just take it out and put it back in, and we'll see. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. It was just loose. So once it gets reconnected, we're good. So now we just need to move it that way, and then you can go up a little. There we go. There you go. That's good right there, I think. Thanks, Kirk. Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know if somebody hit it with their elbow or what.
Tell those big boys from Ithaca to stay away from it.
They're bigger than me, Ken.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, we're going to still have an injury down here, and I think we're going to have an injury default.
Yeah.
Not what you want to see, but the young man from Richland Center here at 106, that would be Ethan Haiti, is going to move on to the finals.
Well, we're just going to shut that camera off for a moment.
Yep, we wish the luck there to the young Marabelli kid from Riverdale. I mean, that's close to home.
Yes.
Got a pin down there by the Toma wrestler. That would be Finch at 120 as he moves on to the 5th place match with a pin over Geyer from Westby.
And that was at 120.
Yep.
Right?
And catching up on 120, we have on mat 3, we have a young man from Belmont Platteville, and he's taking on McGuire from Riverdale. Moved up to 126 down there on your far mat, didn't we, Ken?
Oh yeah, they're moving right along.
Yeah,
This should be. I want to say it was
Toma down there. Bloom from Toma against Curtin from Reedsburg down there.
Okay.
Still activity down here on mat 1. That's just getting started at 126 now too. Maybe I missed the finish of that other one then. But now we have at 126 we have Mihan from Monroe taking on Duffy from Riverdale at 126.
Okay.
So like you say, we're flying up weight classes in a hurry.
Yeah. 120 here with Riverdale on mat number 3. This is Consolation side with Ulrich, McGuire, and Ulrich of Belmont Platteville.
Yep.
4-2 score right now with now 4-3.
Yep.
Ulrich with a nice stand-up, and he was able to face him as they go out of bounds.
Yep.
So McGuire out in front 4-3.
4-3. Nice job, Ken. Getting close to a fall down on mat number 1. That's the young man from Monroe at 126. That's in the championship side against Duffy. That's Mihan. I'm not good at names, kid.
At 26, I didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Menahan.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Don't get me in here for my grammar expertise.
No, nor I. So
right, close to a fall there now on mat number 1. Still 5-4 on mat number 3. Where you at mat number 4? It was tied up. Now it's not.
Yeah, mat number 4 is now 5-3 with Toma and Reedsburg. That's Curtin of Reedsburg, the top seed. He's looking at a Granby Rose situation. I tell you what, Bloom of Toma, he's a tough cookie.
That's a name very familiar with Toma wrestling.
Just a little, right?
Yeah, I can remember back. Still have nightmares of getting thumped by a Bloom.
Yeah.
That brings back all kinds of memories.
Yeah. I start shaking.
Right on. If I start flinching, you'll know when you mention that name again. That's definitely a name from that area.
Yep. 7-5 the score now, and they're going to take a little time out with a bloody nose. Bloom will have to walk off the mat. We'll come back to the Ulrich and McGuire match up here on the lower left, and that's at 120 pounds. It's 7-4 in favor of McGuire. Check that. In favor of Ulrich. And now he's going to give up a point for Starling. He's just kind of hanging on to the leg here. Go back to the advantage position with Ulrich. Trying to get a snap back, but McGuire will base out. And now he'll have to work from down under. Try and pick up 2 for a reversal here and try and tie this match up.
Down on mat number 1, an 8-0 lead now for the young man from Monroe in his match there. I can't remember which one I had, 126. Yeah, that's Mihan against Duffy from Riverdale.
Still working on getting that nosebleed stopped. Now they're ready to come back out onto the mat. Here on mat 4. Now Ulrich is picking up some back points on McGuire. He's going to extend his lead, and the time is going to run out. Looks like Ulrich will pick up the victory. Final score should be 10-5. And another timeout on mat 4. That nosebleed, that's going to be a tough one, it looks like. Well, we have the camera off on mat number 2 here as they're going to take some time here. It looks like the injured wrestler. I'm sure they're kind of holding his head and neck area here, Kirk, so they're going to be very cautious, and that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. We want to send out, that's Gavin Marabelli there, young freshman from Riverdale. We wish him and his family the best. I'm not going to speculate right now. They have very good trainers down there working with him. Yep, I think he's still very conscious and talking to him. Coach Campbell there. I wish him the best. Not sure if we're waiting for other personnel to show up or where we're at, but they're definitely not moving him until they have more precautions.
Yep. Well, let's go to mat number 3 here in the lower left corner. We're going to have a Monroe wrestler, I believe, stepping out here on the mat. That's who it is. At 120 pounds. Excuse me. This is going to be, I'm going to say, Vagelli from Monroe and Oberg of Baraboo.
Yes.
No score here yet.
Yep. Peyton Olberg and Garrett Vogel from Monroe at 120, and that's in the championship round. Still going on down there on mat number 1, and that is the other match at 126. Semi-final between Mahon, still winning there, and just improved his lead. Oh, they're going to say it's out of bounds. 11-0, though, he leads there with a minute 19 to go. Back in mat 4, Ken.
Well, they're finally able to get back out onto the mat here after that nosebleed. It's 7-5 with Reedsburg and Curtin out on top, and now he runs an armbar right over the top here, trying to pick up some back points. He'll get at least 2. Trent Curtin, the top seed, now picking up some more as the count going on. And they're going to go back to near fall, try to run it again. And there's going to be another 2. And I think they're just going to give him 2 period.
I think he's considering that because they continue to move.
Well, he never really broke the hold in the armbar.
Correct. I think that's what he came back in. Still 9-5 score, though, and we still got a period to go.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you get those nosebleeds like that, that just extends that match out another 5 minutes or so, it seems like.
It's a good thing they brought the nosebleed rule into play, but you're talking about history before. I still remember a young man from Athens wrestling the old field house. And, he had that nosebleed. I thought that went on for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was something else. Yeah. Here's a big-time half Nelson by Curtin as he is able to pick up some back points here. He's very close to the fall. Trying to keep those shoulders off the mat is Bloom.
On mat number 1, Carson Mahon advances from Monroe with a 14-2 on to the finals.
Curtin is going to pick up the win. He gets the pin. Bloom will wind up going for 3rd place. Meanwhile, 1-0 your score here on mat number 3, lower left. Oh, a nice little ankle pick there by Vogeli. Trying to react to that was Olberg of Baraboo, but still no points here. Oberg really trying to put some crank on. Now he's going to pick up some back points. Vogeli, the number 2 seed, finds himself in trouble here a little bit. Now he's going to battle back, trying to hit back in, and he does, but Oberg rolls right through it, and there's going to be an escape. 3 near fall for green, it looked like, and 1 red for the escape. We got 5-2 on the scoreboard.
I finally caught up. This is 120 down here at mat number 1, and that's Wyatt Knockreiner, and he's taking on Brogan Middlestadt from Reedsburg. 2-0 score there in favor of the young man from River Valley.
Okay. Here's a takedown attempt. Good job by Vogeli, and he's picking up back points off from the takedown.
And then we get a pin by the young man from River Valley. Wyatt Knockreiner moving on to the finals with a pin.
So he knocked off the top seed.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
So we're catching up a little bit. And we do have medical personnel showing up here for mat number 2. And so hopefully they'll get him all locked in a safe, secure position and get him checked out further.
Over on mat 4, it is River Valley at 126 pounds. And it's River Valley and Baraboo. Prochaska taking on Schultz. That's a 2-0 score in favor of Schultz of Baraboo.
That would be in the wrestleback round.
Yes.
Yep. I think we're going to move on to 1. Well, that must be a wrestleback here too at 126 down on mat number 1.
That's Blake Hansen. Yes, that's right.
Yep. Cashton Westby matchup. Klinkner from Cashton and Hansen from Westby.
2-1 score now down on mat number 4 with 1:30 to go in period number 2. I didn't see what the point was, if it was an escape or what happened. And we'll come back with a 7-5 score on mat 3 at 120 pounds. It was Oberg's choice to begin the third and final period, well, it could be the final period, and he chose neutral.
And they've been going back and forth in that one.
They really have. They kind of tossed each other on the mat pretty hard both times. So,
yep.
Taking a look at mat 4, it's 2-1 on the scoreboard.
Finally get our first points down on mat number 1 with a takedown for the young man from Westby at 126, and that was Hansen. That would be Blake Hansen from Westby, a junior. Taking on Caleb Klinkner from Cashton.
Well, right now it's still 7-5 here. Both wrestlers on their feet. On the lower left, now they're going to be out of bounds. Tell you what, those two are really scrambling pretty well.
That's a good match there between two young individuals that are giving it.
Number 2 and number 3 seeds in this 120-pound weight class. The winner to take on Knockreiner from River Valley, who was able to, the number 4 seed, knocked off Milstead. We just saw that one. Kirk had that one just a couple minutes ago. Here's some back points coming up, and time is going to run out. Let's see what the score is on mat 4. Mike Nicolati going to get things squared up here. 2 near foul, he says. And did he say green? He did, and it's going to be an 8-4 win. Or wait, excuse me, not a win yet. It's only the second period. We're going to go to period number 3. Got ahead of myself.
Down the last 30 seconds, and there in mat 3, we had a warning for stalling and then out of bounds. Another try for a throw. He did warn the young man from Monroe for stalling, though.
Okay.
3-0 down on mat number 1 in favor of Hansen from Westby.
Under 15 seconds to go now on mat 3 and out of bounds one more time. 10 seconds to go here. And as Kirk mentioned, Vogeli has been warned for stalling, so he's got to make sure he stays forward. Try to battle here. Olberg trying to come up with that. There's the point, and that's going to be it. 7-6. Vogeli is going to pick up the win in a dandy match. All right, let's take a look over on mat number 4. It's now 10-8, and here's an escape. 11-8. This is quite the little contest.
Quite a match down there,
yeah.
too, you got going, Ken. You're getting 2 exciting ones in a row. You got
Well,
blood time down on mat number 1, so most of our action is down here on the far end.
It's 11-10.
Start at 132 here, and that would believe we have Finch, the top seed, Gavin Finch, taking on Kristen Shue from Monroe.
54 seconds remaining on this lower right-hand corner of the screen. And with that, let's take a look here again with River Valley. This is the Consolation side with Prochaska and Schultz.
Yes, it is. Yep. Still have Consolation going on mat number 1. Still Hansen up 3-0 as we wind down the end of the second period. And as soon as I say that, he gets a takedown and goes up 5-0.
Prochaska picked up a takedown himself also, Kirk, and has tied this match up at 12-12. 19 seconds and counting. And I think we just got a pin.
Pin by Thomas Finch at 132 is our first bout over there at 132.
Well, and a pin down here by Prochaska with 7 seconds remaining. That was just a dandy match. They just went back and forth. But once Prochaska got the hold that he needed, he picks up the victory.
Crowd recognizing the young man from Riverdale. They have him loaded on the stretcher and very quickly will now get him up to the emergency room and get him all checked out. And we wish the very, very, very best to this young man.
Right. Well, we're going to have a Riverdale and GT Mel Min wrestler step out onto the mat here on mat number 3. This at 132 pounds. This is a semifinal on the championship side. It's going to be Casey Layton, the number 3 seed of Riverdale, taking on the number 7 seed in Jackson Blaken. Blaken knocked off Carter Spenceley of Belmont Platteville in the quarters by a score of 5-1.
7-0 now down there at 126, and that's still Hansen in control down there from Westby. As you say, we're moving on to 132, finish up the semis and wrestlebacks there, and very quickly here we will be about half done with this round.
Over on mat 4, we have Belmont Platteville. We have Spenceley, the number 2 seed, who, as I just mentioned, was picked off, is now taking on Harder from
Cashton,
yeah, Abraham.
Abraham, a sophomore, wrestling here.
That's a 2-0 score with Spenceley out in front as he throws the legs in. No score here on mat number 3. I'm going to mention real quick some of our sponsors. We'll start from the other direction and work our way to the end. And again, that's Advanced Pump and Well Solutions, Larry and Shelley Ferguson. Wishing all the best to the area teams. Man, they got that door open out behind us again. Ash Creek Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. That's where I want the heating. Thanks to Dale Wallace and crew. Badgerland Flooring, when it comes to countertops and cabinet selections, it's Badgerland Flooring, Jamie and Amy Gander. Belmont Platteville Wrestling Club, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. They're doing a great job here today. They're a fun bunch to watch, Belmont Platteville. And the Cashton Wrestling Club. They got a young squad here this year, picking up some new wrestlers along the way, and they look to continue to compete here throughout the year, and we appreciate their terrific support.
We have a win by the young Westby wrestler down there at 126 as he wins 10-0 and moves on to the 5th place match. And that'll wrap up 126. And very shortly here, Ken will turn the camera back on mat number 2.
Yes.
And we will have activity on all 4 mats again. And Kirk will have to earn more of his money.
Yes. Let me see here. Let's go to.
Still activity down here. 2 good matches going on at 132 on match 3 and 4. 0-0 on the mat number 3 there in that match between Riverdale and GET. And then still down on mat number 4, the young man from Belmont now increases his lead to 4-0 in that match as we wind down the second period down there. Very shortly, as Ken turn the camera back on, we will see activity on mat number 2 again. We've moved up to 132 on mat number 1, and there we have from, I believe that's, maybe that's Reedsburg down there in Hillsboro.
That is a Reedsburg wrestler on
and
top.
Novacek from Hillsboro and Reedsburg, that would be Hertz taking on in a consolation match at 132. So 3 matches at 132 going on right now.
On mat number 4, lower right, it's a 4-0 lead here for Spenceley of Belmont Platteville. Meanwhile, it's a 1-0 score on mat number 3 at 132 pounds. This, the semifinal. Very good match going on here in a tight race with Riverdale in Layton and GET Melmins Blaken.
We're going to move to a semifinal here at 145 on mat number 2, and that is second seed Landon Radke from River Valley. Definitely a name that you recognize from River Valley, and he will be taking on Evan Klinkner, the probably number 6 seed in that semifinal action.
Yeah, Klinkner had a nice match in that quarterfinal round.
Yeah, beat out the number 3 seed from Westby, Hanson. And wow, quite a throw there by Klinkner. He definitely has some strength. The Radke is, like I say, great football player for River Valley High School, and definitely a name. If you know anything about River Valley wrestling, you heard the Radke name before.
Definitely. Well, Klinkner was quite a back also for the Cashin squad. Yeah,
they had an awesome football team this year. There's a pin down there that we better get to that.
That was Spenceley of Belmont Platteville picking up the victory over Cashin's Harder. So Abraham will be wrestling for 7th place a little bit later on.
Radke close to a pin here on mat number 2 now as we were catching up on Ken's mat down there, but we'll see if he can get it there. Little blood time on mat number 3. Klinkner got caught in that double arm bar by Radke, and Radke moves on to the finals with a pin here in the first period in a minute 19. Nice job by him and River Valley Wrestlers. Down on mat number 1 at 132. That's the Hertz from Reedsburg against Novacek match, and Hertz leading down there 4-0.
We got a 2-1 score here on mat 3, Kirk, and I tell you what a job on the scramble going on there between those two wrestlers. It's now 2-2.
Then as we moved away, we got a pin down there at 132 by the Reedsburg wrestler, and that would have been Hertz getting the pin down there at 132 and moving on to the 5th place match. So we're almost done at 132. As you got just your match going on there at mat number 3, and that's Layton from Riverdale and Blaken from GET, the Electric.
And I tell you what, it's 2-2 here, and we're going into period number 3, so they're just a touch behind compared to everybody else.
I do believe we have another Westby wrestler out here.
That'll be Dominic Hansen, I believe.
Yep. He is taking on Muckler, Eli Muckler from Richland Center.
That could be a good match.
Yep, young sophomore Muckler from Richland Center on the mat. And Hansen is, like you mentioned, between the Hansen and a couple other names up there, they definitely a family affair at Westby.
Yes. Here is on mat 4, top seed in Tanner Anderson. Finally a senior here for GET Melmin. He's been around for a while.
Okay.
Started out at 106 pounds, and tell you what, he was just he was a tough nut, but he always had to wrestle Cale Anderson, up in the conference and stuff up there. It didn't go too well for him.
I can believe that. Cale doing, I think, a very nice job down at the UW Madison. Now, and great wrestling background there.
Right now it's 5-0. Tanner Anderson out in front of Jack Dubach from Monroe.
138 down there on mat number 1. We have a Belmont Platteville wrestler, and that would be Paulson from Belmont Platteville. He is taking on Trevin Thielman from Richland Center.
I would think these semifinals, just the names and the records, and this is just a great round.
Yes. Close there for Thielman to score, but he didn't quite complete the move. We do get a pin here on mat number 2, and that would be the young man from Westby, Hansen, at 145, moving on to the 5th place match, I believe. Yes, moving on to the 5th place match at 145 as he wins in a pin.
Well, speaking of a pin, we're going to get a pin here with at 132, and I tell you what, Blaken from GT Melmin, he's on a roll. He picks up the win, and a big time, that was some scrambling going on there.
Yep, he'll be taking on the young man from Toma, Finch, in the finals. So we finish up 132, and then we move on now to 45, and possibly, yes, we are in a 152 on mat number 2. And that would be young man from Monroe.
You got to
Brady Shue against a Manning, a Lincoln Manning from Ithaca.
So you got to put up with something over there now.
Yeah, I know it. I better be paying attention. But although Lincoln does give up the early takedown here, but we look for him to come back, the junior with the number 4 seed. Moving down to mat number 1, it's a 4-2 score down there in favor of the young man from Belmont, and that's where it starts here at 140 left in the second period, with Thielman riding in from the left-hand side.
At 138 on mat 3, it's Consolation side. Volts of Hillsboro taking on Schneider of Reedsburg, and right now it's 2-0, and we're going to get a stop there, potentially dangerous. Volts is out in front.
Tanner Paulson just from Belmont Platteville just scored a reversal down there against Thielman and now leads 6-2 with about a minute to go in the second period. 2-1 score in our 152 bout there in the championship round between Manning and Shu from Monroe. Manning got on the scoreboard, now going takedowns again.
And on mat 4 at 138, it's a 10-1 lead for Tanner Anderson.
A lot of community flair right now. It's try to step through there, and Manning did a nice job of countering, and he has Shu in a lot of trouble right now. Lee's going to get the takedown and 2 back points. Can he get him back over there again? Now coming into a headlock position. He's got him over there now, and he's got it pretty tight, Ken.
He does.
Real close to the near fall and the fall. There it is.
Yes, wow.
What a comeback for Lincoln Manning. He moves on to the final with a terrific pin there.
Well, that was big. But, you know, he just kind of kept us cool in places.
Yep, he did. They always talk about position, Ken, and that was a true example of maintaining good position in a leverage situation, and he came out on top.
Yeah, quite the job.
Congratulations to him.
14-1 your score on mat number 4. With Anderson out in front.
Thielman made quite a comeback down here on the other end. I was too busy watching Manning, but it's a 7-6 score down there going into the third period. Thielman out in front at 138, semifinal. Still.
Well, we got some blood time here. 2 Kirk on 3, so we'll have to wait on that. A minute 30 to go here out on mat 4. Anderson is close to a tech fall as he's leading 14-1.
That's a consolation match there, 132. That's still a semifinal going down there at the other one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, up at the top bracket, yes.
Yeah, that's Monroe and GET, right? Yep.
Yes. Thanks going out to another wrestling family. We mentioned Century 21. That's Paul and Chris Brenninger wishing all the best to the area teams. Checkered Flag in Reedsburg, quality embroidery, screen printing, and more. Out there in Reedsburg, that's Tim and Brenda McMillan. Community First Bank, regarding your personal banking, business, all kinds of electronic banking support, investment services. Coon Valley Telecommunications, 452-3101. It's Coon Valley Farmers Telephone. Culver's of Richland Center right here on the outside of Richland Center on Highway 14. Great tasting food where it's grown, not made. And our thanks to Joe Hall, Dairyland Transportation, as they continue to haul cargo for the agricultural community.
Still a 7-6 score down here on mat number 1. Less than a minute to go there with Trevin Thielman still out in front. Mat 2, a 2-1 score there at 152. And that would be the young man from, I had to catch up here again, that's a wrestleback. Reedsburg out in front there. Fry from Reedsburg against Broker from Toma.
Well, we're back in action here. Potentially dangerous on mat number 3 and a 2-2 score at 138 pounds. This is, let's see now. This says 138. We must be, right here, Vols and Schneider.
Yep.
Got it.
Looked away on mat 1, and Paulson came up with a near fall, and now he leads 9-7, and we're in the last 5 seconds of the match. Steelman's got to go real quick here. Otherwise, Paulson's moving on to the finals, and he does. Nice comeback by Paulson there to get near fall in the third period and win that bout. So we're almost done with, we still got quite a few matches. 138, where they're bouncing really with that slow up, kind of threw us off kilter as far as weight classes, but we're catching up here.
So Anderson's going to pick up the win, 14-2 down there on mat 3. As you see his hand getting raised. 5-2 score here on mat 3 with Schneider and Vols from Hillsboro. Schneider of Reedsburg.
Yep.
He's out in front.
And number 2 still that 2-1 score for Fry from Reedsburg. Started up on mat number 1. We have at 145 now. that would be consolation match Trudeau of Reedsburg, and he takes on Fry of Gale Electric Trempealeau Melmarin.
Yeah, quite the. We take a look now out on mat 4, the far mat, 145 pounds. This is Baraboo in Gorski, Connor Gorski, the top seed, taking on Dylan Tabor, or Tabor, I'm not sure which way they go with him.
Reedsburg getting a pin down there at 145 consolation, and he moves on to the 5th place match. Moving up to the top side of the weight classes, at least the bigger athletes. We won't call them, as far as action, the action is pretty good throughout.
Yeah.
Moving up to 152 down there on mat number 1. I believe that is a wrestle back match now too. I put that in the wrong spot with that other one.
That'll happen.
Yep.
So at 52.
52, that I'm pretty sure that was Reed or Fry from Reedsburg that got that pin. Pretty sure that was 152 before with the pin.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. I might be wrong.
This is, that's the Hemmerspach boy from Cashton. Okay.
Yeah, 152, yep. Yeah, that'd be Hammerspach against Tyken from Baraboo. Yep, now we're in the right spot, the right pew. Still 2-2 here in the minute 30 to go at 152 on the, that's the,
well, I'll tell you what,
maybe I did have that right before. That must have been at 145. That must have been Trudeau that got the pin.
Oh, Trudeau, you're right.
I did, because this is 152 going on here between Reedsburg and Broker. I knew he was out there, but all right. We're caught up now and correct. You take it for a second.
Well, we had quite a match going on over here on mat number 4, Gorski and the opponent here, and now we're going to get a little timeout over here again as I think Belmont Platteville in Tabor got hit in the head as Gorski was trying to get out from the top in kind of a overhang situation with the legs in, over the top, and Tabor was coming out the back. There was kind of a, bumping the leg and the head and now they're checking out Tabor, so hopefully he'll be okay.
Looks like we're going to go to sudden victory here on mat number 2, because that is tied up 2-2. Oh wait, we're still 35 seconds to go.
138. Reedsburg picked up the win. Schneider at 7-5 over Vols, or Volts, I guess they would say, of Hillsboro. So, well, let's see what we got left here. We still have another 138-pound match. This is Toma in Bemis taking on River Valley's White. That's on mat 3.
So who won that, Reedsburg or Hillsboro at 138?
Reedsburg wound up sneaking that one out, 7-5.
Takedown by the Toma wrestler at 152 as he wins that match, and that would be Broker from Toma winning that match. Moving on to the 5th place match with a 4-2 win.
You know, here's one thing I have to mention this with Brett Hemmerspach of Cashion, who just lost over there. He has been playing basketball over all the years. He's a sophomore. Decided to come out for wrestling this year. His twin brother is playing basketball, and I tell you what, that takes some guts.
Yes.
And he's a good athlete. If he can just hang in there, he'll pick up on things.
Oh, he'll definitely learn some things at Cashton.
Oh yeah.
We're moving up now to 162 on mat number 1 and number 2. Still having an injury situation down on mat number 4. What do you got going on 3, Ken?
Well, on 3 here, it's going to be Bemis and White. And right now, Bemis of Toma has the lead, 2-0.
At 160 at mat number 1, we have the young man from Toma, and that would be Johnson taking on Henderson from Cochran Fountain City. Then on mat number 2, we have Reedsburg, which that would be, yes, he is taking on Trevor Templin, the number 1 seed from Ithaca Weston on mat number 2. And Templin out in front there, 2-0 early in that match. He takes on Yankee from Reedsburg.
Uh-huh.
A little blood time there now. It's too bad because Thielman just was cranking in an arm bar.
I was talking with Rick Yankee from Reedsburg. I had done a long-term stint years ago at La Crescent, and Rick was there as the head coach at La Crescent, and we had a chance to talk and do some couple things together and help out a little bit with the program. Well, anyways, now he's over in the Reedsburg area, and I go, "That's not your son out there, is it?" And he goes, "It took him how many years? He's a senior, and he went out for wrestling." And I go, "He saw the light." No.
There you go.
Oh, it was just Rick's a good guy, and he was kind of laughing about things. You know, you can tell he's proud of his son, and giving it a shot.
Just always have to applaud all the young athletes that come out for any sport.
Oh, anymore?
It's just really good.
Yes.
And all the extracurricular activities, just wish they all realize that you can work the rest of your life, but right now is your time to enjoy athletics and especially enjoy your classmates and your schoolmates.
Yep.
Just memories you'll never forget, Ken, and you and I both have reminisced many times over those.
Yep, very much so. Still 2-0 score here on mat number 3 with Bemis and White. Bemis had a pretty good shot at picking up some back points, but not able to do so with White battling here. And so now a little timeout here. They found some blood somewhere, so they're going to get that all taken care of.
And they have an injury default down there in that 145-pound bout.
Yeah. And
it's going to be Connor Gorski winning down there against Dylan Tabor. And the injury default, we have our medical personnel out there, and we wish Dylan Tabor the best in that. As Ken said, it was just kind of an ironic position that he got into, and we wish him the best.
Yeah, those are just weird things. It was nothing, outlandish, flagrant, nothing of the sort. And it just some weird little thing that happened. Well, let's take a look here. Talk about some of our sponsors. Driftless Area Hunters Outlet, Rick Fruit, when it comes to
see here, as a blood timeout at mat number 1. Mat number 2, we're oh. Hit the traffic situation.
I guess. I didn't know. I mean, I kind of thought I was out by the side there where I've always been, and
Oh, okay.
apparently they need it moved. So, all right, we can do that.
At least they didn't tow you.
Yeah, that was nice of them. So,
Lincoln, I get back to this Templin we have out here at 160, and he's got a nice lead in his match here. 7-1 as we resume wrestling. You got to see that action as he comes close to a pin here now with a cradle with 120 left here in the second period. Of course, the coaches on the sidelines always thinks it's a pin. It looks close to me up here too,
yeah,
but there it is.
Yeah.
So another pin by the Ithaca wrestler and another gentleman from Ithaca Weston, Trevor Templin, moving to the finals in this tournament
All right.
at 160.
Well,
So we're kind of scattered all over the board from 138.
We
Even
are
they're
again.
saying 182 on that one down there. I hope that's wrong.
Yeah, maybe eventually, but not right now.
I don't need to flip that many papers. Still 138 out here, 160 down here on mat number 1. And that again is, I believe Toma I had in there. Toma Johnson against Henderson from CFC. And that is a 4-1 score in favor of, I believe, the Henderson from CFC, yes.
Well, we got a 4-0 score here on mat number 3 with 1:20 to go in the match. Bemis is out in front with that lead. Now approaching 1 minute.
We have Hunter Arsario from Hillsborough at 160 taking on Amacher from Monroe in a consolation match at 160. So finishing up here pretty quick there's still a minute to go there in that 130. A lot of blood time in that match too.
Yeah, it was, that's for sure.
Still a 4-3 score down there at 160, and that's in favor of Henderson from CFC. And like we said in the Osario match, that's 2-2 score now. Takedown by Henderson down there near fall, so he should be extending his lead here as we're minute 30 to go in the third period as he comes close to getting the fall now.
We're under 10 seconds to go, and Bemis is going to pick up 2 near fall, leads 6-0, and that's where that score will finish up in the consolation side. So White will drop down to 7th place, and again, that's at 138 pounds. So Bemis and Schneider will wrestle for the 5th place.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. How did Muckler and Hansen, how did that go at 145? That was consolation?
Yeah, Westby won that with a pin.
Okay.
Or Hansen, excuse me.
Okay.
Yep.
And
The
then
other one I didn't get, Trudeau and Fry. I didn't get the result of that one at 145.
Okay. And here is 152. It's going to be Vatlin. Garrett Vatlin steps out onto the mat to face Riley Wanik
from Riverdale. That should be a good match.
This should be a dandy one here as Wanik coming in undefeated. It still is that way. And Vatlin with 1 loss. Here comes Vatlin trying to get a foot sweep, but not able to get anything connected there. And they'll go out of bounds. Well, again, thanks to Genuine Telecom here in Richland Center. Hope you enjoy today's broadcast. And, of course, the rebroadcast, we'll have that on Channel 14 and get it to all of our affiliates. The Titan Wrestling Club, that's GT Melmin, another nice team coming up as they look for another push to the state team tournament. And Hartshee Lumber, look no further than Hartshee Lumber in Laval when it comes to all your lumber needs.
And a final down there. That would be Henderson from CFC picking up a 10-5 win over Johnson from Toma. We have a Richland Center athlete coming out there at 170 we're moving up to, and that would be Cole Brenninger from Richland Center, and he will be taking on David Fargen from Ithaca Weston. So that'll be a real tight county match down there.
Right. And I apologize. Who did you say won that last match that you mentioned?
That was Henderson from Cochran Fountain City at 160.
Okay, thank
in the consolation round.
Yep. Okay.
10-5.
Well, now picking up some back points here after a takedown on Westby. This is going to be Wanik of Riverdale. He gets the turn off from the takedown, and he leads 5-0 with a 3-point near fall. Out of bounds they go.
Arcerio just scores a takedown and takes the lead 5-3 with 1:20 to go in his consolation match. He's down at the far end there. Fargen scoring a takedown there against Brenninger and now leads 2-0 early with 1 minute in that period.
Nice lift and bringing Vatlin back down to the mat. Wanik will maintain that 5-0 lead here at 1:52.
5-3 on mat 2 and still 2-0 on mat 1 with Fargen leading down there against Brenninger. Quick escape there by young man from Westby, Vatlin, to finally get on the scoreboard. 5-1 there with 1:40 to go in the second period there. Still 2-0 score on mat number 1. And a 5-3 score with a escape point there at 160 for a 5 score with 25 seconds to go. Again, we have mat number 4, the camera off there. We are finishing up there as we have medical personnel. And we hate to see it, Ken, but we're going to have our second ambulance ride here today, but hopefully we'll wish for the best for those young men.
Yeah, no kidding. Those are always tough things to see.
Oh, nice throw by Brenninger on the far end there. He had gotten an escape. And the takedown. So at least comes back there strong at the end of the first period and now has a 3-2 lead going into the second period.
11-2 your score now. Wanik out in front of Vatland and make it 13-2.
Big comeback there in the consolation match at 160 with the points at the end of the match for Amaker from Monroe, and he wins 6-5, and he'll move on to the 5th place match for Monroe. So one match left at 160, which Ken is watching right now, and then we're up to 170. Or I guess you're at 152, aren't you?
Right, yeah.
There's one left at 162, I think. I
Here's
haven't seen O'Neill from Cashton out there yet.
Yeah, we're waiting for him. There's a reversal by Vatland.
Vargin scoring on mat number 1 and now leads 4-3 in that match down there. 170 stepping on mat number 2. I believe we got Baraboo out there, and that would be Owen, Brayton Owen, taking on the number 9 seed. That would be Sam Schultz from Cochrane Fountain City. He came in with a 2-0 record and moving his way into the semis here.
Wanik gets a reversal back and leads 17-4 as they move into period number 3 here, the final period. Wanik out in front.
Far in there, Fargen scoring a takedown and back points and now leads Brenninger 8-3 in that match on number 1. Mat number 2, the young man for Baraboo, Owen, secures a takedown and he leads 2-0 with a minute left.
They'll get the start here in period number 3. Our thanks going out to Inspired Innovations, Jen Ewers and that crew. It's your family hair salon down there in Gotham. Yeah, they moved the facility over there. Looking pretty good. Here is Vatland picking up a takedown and now some back points on Wanik. Wanik will muscle his way back to his stomach here. But see, he'll see his lead get cut into now. 17-6.
(8-5) down there with 30 seconds to go in the second period between Fargen and Brenninger. And a reversal scored in the middle, mat number 2, as that score is tied 2-0 with 2-2, excuse me, with 15 seconds to go. Heard some applause there. That was for the young man from Belmont Platteville as they finish getting him loaded for his transfer to the medical center. Wish him luck again. Finally coming down to the last 45 seconds here as Wanik extends his lead back up as that's been going back and forth, but Wanik still with a nice lead of 20-8 in that bout. 8-5 with this period winding down there. Brenninger trying to go for a throw here right at the end. Hopefully he doesn't, and he doesn't. That's how the period will end, 8-5 as we go into the third period there. Fargen leading. Still 2-2 as we're in the second period in our other semifinal at 170. And that's Owen against Schultz from CFC as Owen just scored a reversal and now leads 4-2. Brenninger comes with an escape down there on mat number 1, 8-6 score with a minute 50 to go in that semifinal bout at 170. Two exciting semifinals going on tonight, Ken.
Right.
You only have 4 seconds. You're finally going to get a final there at 152.
It's 21-8. My goodness.
Wanek from Riverdale should be punching his ticket into the finals against. He'll take on some Manning kid from Ithaca.
Should be an interesting one.
Yep. Nice win there by Riley Wanek. The sophomore still maintains his undefeated record. That can't be the right record, though. He can't be 17-0 by now already, is he?
You know, there's some because they could have a couple of
really?
dual meet tournaments. Yeah, it's crazy. There's some that are just crazy.
Oh, you see activity down on mat number 1 as Cole Brenninger got caught again there by Farjan. Gave up a takedown and back points, and now Farjan leads in that match with 50 seconds to go, 13-6. Wind down the second period. The young man from Baraboo, Owen, leading in that bout 4-2, but he's going to get back points here at the end of the period. See how many it is he's going to get. 3 he's going to get. He extends his lead now to 7-2. As we're going to get to back action down on mat number 4 down there. Let's turn that camera back on. And I don't know how they get to there, but they're going to jump up to 195. I'm glad that's your end.
You know, I'm wondering if they didn't reassign the mats while there was that injury timeout. Yes. And so that's why it's all the way up to the, that's probably what happened.
Glad that works for you. Sorry. As we get another finalist down here on mat number 1 is David Farjan. Improves his record, undefeated. He moves on with a 15-7 winning over Cole Brenninger.
Oh, that was quite a match.
Yes, it was.
Good.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Our other semifinal down here at 170, the young man Owen from Baraboo. Braylon Owen extends his lead now to 9-2. You are getting into 195-pound action down there, and you're at 160 on the other one. So that would be the other semifinal there. Finally, O'Neill from Caston getting out there against Ben Peterson from GET. So Mel Min or GET has 2 semifinalists out there going at once. I think the other one's a semifinalist. We'll have to jump up there and see. No, yes it is. That would be Justin Baller, a senior, and he's taking on Tanner Matthias from Toma. I just had a pin while I was off there, but that's in the consolation match at 170, and that would be the young man from Reedsburg coming up the fall, and he pinned Slesner from Caston in the first period.
Over on mat 4, that is at 195 pounds. That's going to finish up in a pin in about 1 minute and 20 seconds.
That was the young man from GET with that fall.
That was Valor then.
Yep, clearing the bottom, the second seed.
Okay.
With a fall there.
He was wrestling Matthias of Toma.
Yep.
And over here we have O'Neill at 160. He is on the bottom of the mat, with his opponent, and let's see, Peterson of GET. So O'Neill cashing number 2 seed, Peterson the number 3.
Final there at 170. You got our other finalists, and Braylon Owen wins 9-2 there to move on to the finals, and he'll wrestle David Fargen in that championship bout.
O'Neill has just been caught in a Splado situation here. Trying to keep those shoulders off the mat. It's going to be really tough here. And there's the pin.
That was at 160, right?
Yeah.
That was the young man from GET with the pin.
Ben Peterson, yep.
So that completes that weight class. Down at 182 on mat number 1. Trying to still figure out who I got down there.
So on mat 2, you got Jacob out there.
Oh, that's where he's at. I was going to say that's not Jacob on mat 1. That must be another. And he gets the pin there. Thanks, Ken. At least you got him announced before he pinned the kid.
Well, I tell you what, he got that arm bar in and just ran right over the top.
I'm trying to figure out who's on mat 1.
Well, that might be
Toma.
That's Toma. That's
that's Toma Baraboo. That's why
yeah.
I thought that looked awful close to the Ithaca uniform, and I go, that's not Manning down there. He doesn't have blonde hair. We're going to get another Ithaca wrestler coming out here at 195. This is where Ithaca Weston, if they were to say where their power is, seems to be in the upper weight classes, and this would be Jed Scallon. He's taking on the wrestler from River Valley, and that's Jack. I think it's Imes, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, from River Valley.
From River Valley.
Yes, yes.
Yep. You're back to 170 on mat number 3. And wow, they want to bounce up to 220 way down there. So
yeah, I know.
Scallon gets the early takedown there, and now looking for a half and back points. And he's got the young man from River Valley in a lot of trouble right now, and very close to scoring another fall and another finalist for Ithaca Weston if he can hold it. Nice job bridging, though, by the young man from River Valley to get out of that.
At 170 pounds, we'll drop back a sheet with Boscobel and Hulsey and Clark of Riverdale. They're out here on mat 3.
Well,
220 pounds, as Kirk mentioned, is going to be coming up over there on mat number 4, lower right.
that would be, looks like Mondaro from Belmont, Platteville, taking on Teague Perkins from Richland Center. We got a pin down there at 182. That was the young man from Baraboo in the Consolation side of the. No, he's in. That must be in the championship side of the bracket. Yes, it was in the championship side. The young man Stotts from Baraboo getting the pin there at 182 to move on to the finals, and he will have to wrestle Jacob Manning.
Well, I know Lenhair is only a sophomore, but I tell you what, he has got a good reputation, but he ran into a tough character with the junior in Stotts.
And then the other wrestler from Ithaca Weston, that'd be Jed Scallon, he just picks up a pin, and he moves on to the finals for Ithaca Weston with a first period pin. So a lot of activity here for Ithaca Weston here in the upper weight classes. And at 220, we come back, and they have another young man going on down there, and that would be in the Consolation side, though. That's one of the Self boys. I got to catch him down there. That's Marshall, and he's taking on Novacek from Hillsborough in a Consolation match. As we move now to 285 in the mat number 2. You're down to 220 down there and still at 170 in that Consolation. The 220-pound bout down there, that is in the championship side, and that's Teague Perkins down there taking on the Mason Mondaro Monderano or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Get the Arano in there. Good match so far, 0-0 in that bout. Come back to our 285 bout, no score there yet. We have in our consolation match down there at 220, no score there yet with Self as they wind up the first period. It's a lot of activity. We're down to the third period here in match numbers. Last bout at 170, and that's a consolation match between Holtz from Boscobel. He's taking on Clark from Riverdale. And then we get a fall in our 285-pound weight class, and that is the young man from GT getting a fall, and he gets the fall against the young man from River Valley, and that was in the consolation side of that bracket. So that was Haney from GT getting the fall to go into the fifth place match over Bindle from River Valley.
And that was at 285.
Yes.
So, you know, the interesting part is could that be a rematch? So Haney wins. Culpet and Buckholz. If Culpet beats Buckholz, that could be a rematch from earlier today.
Oh, wow. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
but that's
Haney,
when you have a full wrestle back. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Perkins down there real close to the fall. Mat number 4, we're going to switch down and focus you on that one as he's real close for a fall down there with a 5-0 lead, and there it is. Nice job by T. Perkins from Richland Center moving to the finals at 220.
Well, he showed some pretty good strength on that one.
And then I missed my final bout down here, so I'm not too sure who won down there. I even forgot who I had down there, Ken.
I didn't even see, to be honest.
Watching Teague, I was wanted to highlight that anyway. Oh, that was the Ithaca wrestler down there, though. That was Self down there. That's right.
Oh, okay.
We'll come back later and give you that. I apologize. At least you saw it on film. There's Self from Ithaca Weston taking on Novacek from Hillsboro.
285 pounds down on mat number 4. It's going to be Nottestead of Westby. Dylan is going to take on Porter Mandarano in the semis. A chance to get to the finals here. And we have Boscobel and Riverdale. It's going to be a 3-0 victory here for Riverdale.
Oh, for Boscobel.
Nope, check that, Boscobel.
Boscobel gets a place winner out there going for 5th. So that'll finally complete 170. And maybe we'll get our papers down to a few less, Ken.
Yeah, there you go. That was Hulsey of Boscobel who picks up that win. All right.
Oh, and then we had a bunch of buys there at 182 in the consolation side. That's why we didn't see anything activity there.
Sure.
And now we're up to, I don't know, we might have missed the, no, that match is going on now. I don't know what happened to that 220-pound or 195 consolation between Reedsburg and River Ridge. I didn't see that one. But we have a championship out down there at 285, isn't it?
2-1 score.
Yep.
With Nottestead out in front of the wrestler from Belmont Platteville.
Mandarano or. And we got
Mandarano, yes.
Yep, we must be done wrestling this round on mat number 2 as they shut that one down.
Okay.
Close to a fall down there on mat number 1. And that's at 220. And that would be the young man wrestling from River Valley, Bindle, wrestling Martin from Baraboo. real quick, getting close to the end of this round. I'm not sure if they're going to go into some wrestlebacks or the other thing they might go to the featured thing they talked about today, the Hall of Fame. So we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah,
there.
that's right. That's going to be coming up.
Yep. 6 inductees today for the Richland Center Hall of Fame. Try to mention their names as we get going here. Eric Hoffman, one of the first inductees. Gene Brickle from way back in the 60s and 70s era. Steve Dobbs and Denny Bauer from 1975 class. Scott Niles and Ken Renish from both the earlier eras there. I shouldn't say earlier, but in, let's say, 80s and 90s era. And then a special feature here to see someone like Eric Olson from the Richland Observer getting into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot more of that around the areas, around the communities, recognizing some of these, announcers, broadcasters, and even newspapers that are done a heck of a job of covering high school athletics.
Yeah. Here's a half Nelson coming up, head lever situation, and Nottestead picks up the pin. Well, once he got that in, it was very, very tight.
One of the fine 285-pounders in this area of the state. Going to see a lot more of him.
Well, I think right now he currently is ranked #1 in Division III, so and probably rightfully so. He's
deservingly so, yeah. Very good young athlete.
Yes.
And a familiar name again from the Westby area.
Been in the state tournament 2 years.
Yep. So we're down to, we should be seeing the young man from Ithaca Weston coming out here soon somewhere. But it must be because they've got him called up to a certain mat. Again, like you were saying, Ken, that we're not seeing him because mat #2 is down and they're not wrestling any activity there. We do have an injury going down here on mat #1. I know you guys saw all that action, but there must have been quite a flurry going on down there. And the young man from, I believe, from River Valley is winning right now 9-8. I think that's, yes, the young man from Baraboo who's got the red band on. But an injury there, again, as our health personnel check him out. And we are posting that we have going to wrestlebacks at mat #4 now, too. But the only activity we have going on here is mat #3, and that is about at 220. And that is a semifinal bout. Yes, it is. That's Lockington. Boy, that's a name familiar up in that area. Braden Lockington taking on young man Jesus Gonzalez from Reedsburg at 220.
Go flying out of bounds.
That's the only activity we have going on here. I still am missing. I can't believe I missed Caleb Marchwick, the 285-pounder from Ithaca.
Yeah, he hasn't
wrestled yet.
Yeah, he's not wrestled yet.
All right, so I would anticipate he's on deck on mat #1 or mat #3 is why we're waiting. So our only mat here is our mat #3 going on, and that's quite a match. Still 2-1 with 50 seconds to go here in the second period. Is now the young on the other end, our 220-pound wrestleback with young man from Baraboo, Martin, taking on Bindle. And he's back in action here and comes quickly to his feet and gets an escape. And that should tie the bout. And then a throw. Not sure why the coaches from Baraboo are concerned, but not totally sure why they're so excited because it was their young athlete. Oh, excuse me, I got the wrong team. Now I understand why they're excited.
We got a pinning combination here on mat 3. GET, boy, I tell you what, these guys were showing some athleticism. And then all of a sudden, GET came up with a nice little move, and Lockington winds up on top of Gonzalez, and he's going to get the pin. So it's the number 6 seed coming back through and is going to find himself into the finals tonight here or late this afternoon at Richland Center.
He'll take on Teague Perkins in the championship match, so that should be a good match. Not totally sure. I know the okay, they've got it sorted out now, which was the right call. Helps to have an experienced official. I know the other school wanted the clock or something changed because of the clock wasn't running, but the experienced official let it go the way it was supposed to, and the scoring occurred. And now the young man from Baraboo leading 13-9 as we go into the third period. And you got a match at 285 on your end, Ken.
That's right. This is going to be Austin Culpet of Cashton. He is going to be facing Buckholz from Richland Center. And taking a quick look here, make sure I got Buckholz's first name is Bruce.
Bruce, yes. His mom and dad are Booster Club members with me here at Richland Center.
Okay.
Very nice family.
Uh-huh.
Very good football season Bruce had, too.
Oh, yeah.
We can talk about that a lot, too, Ken. There's a lot of good football players here today.
Well, and you got two of them right out here because Austin Culpet was the center for that offense of Cashton, who did a great job this year, all the way to the Final Four. Using a chest crusher move, and Culpet has back points as time runs out. He's going to get two near fall off from the takedown and will lead by a score of 4-0.
Minute 8 left in our bout down there on mat number 1. 17-10 score now in favor of the young man from Baraboo. And that is Martin. Like you say, we'll try to get their first name in there so we sound really good. Riley Martin. He is taking on Jacob Bindle from River Valley. Jacob just scored an escape. Should be 17-11 now. Must have some more clock issues as they try to fix it.
Well, Culpet is going to give up a point for grabbing the clothing. So a technical violation there. It's going to be 4-1. Still with the lead, he is on top over Bruce Buckholz. Well, Richland Center had a nice football season.
Yes, very
making
nice.
the playoffs, and that was good to see. And they won their first round playoff game, too.
Yes, yep. Especially tough because it was a rematch against a team they had already played. Very good conference that they were in this year, and and even River Valley here today from the same conference had a really nice team.
Sure.
But Cashton, that was impressive to see too. I followed that as they played Ithaca Weston early in the year, and then just kept it rolling.
Well,
now a turn of events down here. Could have a fall. There's a headlock here by Bindo from River Valley, and he pins him. Quite a comeback there. Scores the fall at 220.
And here's the fall at 285 for Austin Culpet. So that'll take care of things.
That'll wind it down to our last match in a hurry.
Still waiting for Caleb Marchwick to come out.
Yep, I would hope he's somewhere here. Although I see Coach Clary coming up in the stands. Not sure what happened there.
Well, let me do a little checking here.
Yeah. That's the kid from here, maybe the kid from. Ken's getting an update here. Shortly we'll give it to you as we're completed action here now the way it looks for the semifinals.
Sounds like his opponent here was supposed to be Bunker of Monroe, but just talking with Caleb's mom over here to my right, and it sounds like his opponent went home sick. So, so that might explain why we don't see Marchwick out there.
Well, that happens this time of year as you get into what we call typically, we don't want to talk about that other word, but as you get into the typical flu season,
right,
it's not surprising to see that happen to a lot of young men.
Well, Laval,
young females too.
Yeah, Laval Telephone Co-op bringing us today's action. Napa in Richland Center here, the Jones Auto Part, Manio Dairy Farms, the Monroe Wrestling Club, reminding you of their big tournament coming up here on January 26th. That's a Sunday. Pre-registration, $20. You can do walk-ins at $25. And contact John Witt if you need any other information. 608-558-1050 is the number to call. And Nordic Lanes bringing you action here from Richland Center. O'Reilly Auto Parts, that's our good friends Scott and Sue Sordahl. And O'Reilly Auto Parts, Bill Klemick, wishing all the best to the area teams. And thanks to Amy and Tom at the Phoenix Center here in RC. Great place for class reunions, district meetings, banquets. They have a wonderful facility. Pizza Hut of Richland Center is bringing you the action, as well as Richland Electric Cooperative, Richland Grant Telephone Cooperative, and Rob Richards Insurance. We thank them for their support. Riverdale Wrestling Club, Title Works, Mark Crary, Vernon Communications bringing you the action here today on Channel 2. Wallace Cooper and Elliott, thanks to Sheila Troxel and her great bunch. Kevin Hauser and WCCU. Chad, Emily, and Peter at Walsh's Ace Hardware and Ithaca Weston Wrestling Club. We certainly appreciate all of their terrific support. Well, we're going to take a break and come back with the championship placement round. For Kirk Layer, I'm Ken Manning saying thanks for watching. We'll be back in just a few moments.